So you're tired of relapsing over and over again. You've told yourself that this is the last time. Yet only a couple of days later you find yourself at square one. Maybe you put up a good fight for those couple of days, clenching your teeth as the urges hit you, mustering up all your might, every drop of motivation you have to fight against the raging urges which are gradually pecking away at your motivation. And before you know it, you have relapsed once again. What if I told you that you have been doing no FAP all wrong? What if I told you that you are never going to feel an urge again? What if I told you you never have to go through the internal tug of war? Sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Just a couple of years ago, I too was going through a similar struggle and looking for a way out. It was then that I discovered the power of fasting. Yeah, you heard me right. Fasting completely changed my no FAP journey. Almost instantly, my streaks just quadrupled. So what exactly do I mean by fasting? A very simple definition would be to just not consume food for a certain duration of time. But before we get into the nitty-gritty details as to how long does one need to fast or what he should or should not eat, let's first see how exactly does fasting help you in your no FAP journey. So I initially started doing 16 to 18 hour long fasts, and when I was fasting I realized that I no longer had any cravings of any kind. It's almost as if all my urges just completely vanished. It was surprising to know that when you are deprived of food and nutrition, your body does not crave any impulsive pleasures. I was no longer having this internal tug of war between the thinking part of my brain and the addicted regions of my brain. This made the no FAP journey significantly easier. Prior to this, I always had the no FAP journey on my mind. I used to think about relapsing all the time. And this was just so psychologically taxing, constantly putting effort in suppressing your urges. But once I was on a fast, I no longer missed PMO. It was almost like I completely forgot about it. This felt like a huge burden being lifted off my shoulders. I could now utilize all this energy into other avenues. Another thing that I noticed while fasting was that not only did I not have any urges or cravings, I also had far fewer withdrawal symptoms. Like you hear all these stories about individuals who have suffered months or even years due to flatlines, mood swings and whatnot. What I experienced while fasting was that withdrawal symptoms were significantly fewer, and the period for which they lasted was also far shorter. At first I just thought to myself that this is all in my head, it's all placebo and this is not something that fasting has caused. But then I had a couple of buddies of mine who were addicted to smoking and had tried quitting smoking for ages. They were once again using pure motivation just to quit smoking. At this point I had an intuition that fasting could perhaps diminish their cravings for cigarettes too. So I encouraged them to follow something called OMAD. It stands for 1 meal a day. So it's like a 23-hour long fast. You get 1 hour of eating window during which you replenish yourself. Granted that this was a bit aggressive, but my friends were eager to do so and wanted to see if my hypothesis was correct or not. Guess what? While doing this 23-hour fasting protocol for 30 days, none of my friends smoked a single cigarette during this period. Not just that, they described feeling disgusted or repulsed by cigarettes. And keep in mind that these were people who had smoked for 10 plus years and had about 5 to 6 cigarettes a day. After this point, my hypothesis regarding fasting was confirmed. There is something about fasting that switches off the regions of your brain that crave an addictive substance. Once you can turn off that voice in your brain that is begging you for that drug of your choice, in this case PMO, then you can easily go 90 days without a problem. So in my case, I did 30 days of OMAD, and during this period I had zero cravings, and I also felt really confident in my ability to say no to instant gratification. Like think about it, if you can say no to food, then saying no to PMO becomes easy, effortless. After my 30 days of 23 hours of fasting, I then decided to drop my fasting window and only do like a maintenance dose of fasting for about 12 to 14 hours. I know even this sounds a lot at first, but if you don't eat anything for 2 hours before going to bed and 2 hours after waking up, and assuming you have slept 8 hours a day, then you have already completed a 12-hour fast. Fasting rewired my brain at a significantly faster rate. Even though it was only day 30, it honestly felt like I was on day 300. It not only turned off all the urges, but also profoundly improved my ability to say no to instant gratification. There you have it, folks. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, and if you're interested in more tools and techniques that I use in my self-improvement journey, then make sure that you subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, keep the ball rolling, keep improving.